So this video is going to be about SOQL scenario based questions. I am going to cut the crap and directly jump on the question. Question 1 is, you are building a nightly batch job that audits all account records including ones deleted in the last 15 days. Okay, and a colleague says a standard SOQL is enough. So do you agree, or what would you use instead? So the goal here is you want to query a few accounts, and that set of accounts includes the deleted ones too. Now normal standard SOQL does not support this. Okay, so what is that one extra keyword, one extra parameter that you add in your query to give you the access to the deleted records? And that keyword is nothing but all rows. Okay, so if you have deleted few records, they are sitting in your recycle bin. Okay, they are soft deleted, so you can include them in your query, but you have to append this keyword in your SOQL query. So you have to say select ID, whatever fields you want from the object, whatever object you want, and then you have to write this keyword all rows, just like we say where and order by or limit. Similarly, we have to include this clause all rows to get the deleted records in the query. Now the similar question, now interviewers can ask you something like this, which is around the same concept but a different question. So the scenario here is a client reports that some opportunity records were deleted by a user error. You want to write a trigger to automatically undelete them if certain criteria is met. Now when you test, the trigger is not firing, so what could be wrong and how would you identify the deleted records? Okay, now the first thing is how to locate these deleted records, how to identify. Now you know that you have to use all rows. Okay, so first thing is, how will you locate them? You will use all rows in your SOQL, and then you will get all the deleted ones. And then once you find them, once you locate them, you can just do database.undelete to restore. Okay, so there is one DML undelete. You can use this DML to recover your deleted records. So first thing is finding them. So you will have to use all rows in your SOQL query, otherwise you won't see the records in the query. And the second thing is using the undelete DML. Okay, this is the similar question around the same concept. Then many people get confused in these two things, all rows and is deleted. Now we understood what all rows does, but what is deleted? So all rows is going to define your scope, but is deleted is just filtering your data. Okay, it is just narrowing down your search result, which is already defined by the scope. So don't get confused in these two things. So let's say you have this simple query. Okay, without all rows you are getting all active records in the system which are non-deleted. Okay, once you included all rows, now you are getting deleted records along with it. Okay, so the scope is increased. Now with is deleted, you have to use all rows, but if you just want to have a look at only deleted records or only non-deleted records, then you can use this as a filter. So is deleted is like a filter which comes on top of it. Okay, so these two things can be used together, but it is only meaningful when you have all rows in your query. Otherwise your deleted records are anyway going to be excluded. So what are you filtering, bro? So keep in mind, is deleted will come in your where clause, and all rows is a different clause together to have in your SOQL query. Okay, then the next concept is pagination. Very interesting concept and very confusing too. So let's say you have 10,000 accounts and you want to show something on UI which lists down all these accounts. So will you show these 10,000 accounts in one go? But how to query your data systematically and throw 10 accounts per page on that UI? How your SOQL is going to do that? How to design, how to write this SOQL query to do that? So the first question is, how do I get only 10 records? Okay, and that is simple. You just add limit 10 clause in your query, and then you are going to get only 10 records. Okay, now this is about page 1, but now what about page 2? Now for page 2 you have to use offset clause. Okay, so this is the new keyword that we are going to learn about now. Now what offset is going to do? Offset is nothing but skip. Okay, so if you say offset 10, you are saying skip the first 10 records. So on page 1 you already showed first 10 records. Now I don't want to show them on page 2 again. So offset is going to give you the next 10 records. So it is going to skip first 10 records, and then this limit 10 is again going to cap your result to the 10. Okay, so this is how you are going to get from 11 to 20. So this is how limit and offset would work together to get your pagination done on the UI. So on page 1 your offset is going to be 0. Okay, so you are showing records from 0 to 10. Then on the page 2 your offset value is going to be 10 and your limit is also going to be 10. Limit is going to stay constant because we always want to show 10 records per page, so forget about limit, focus on offset. For page 2 your offset is going to be 10, so it skipped first 10 records, it jumped on the 11 and then it is showing the 10 records, so 11 to 20. Then for the next page 21 to 30, because your offset value is 20, so it is skipping first 20 records. Okay, now just to summarize this, it can be articulated in one formula. So this is the formula that will sum up everything. So your page number minus 1 into your page size is going to give you the offset. So let's say I'm on page 9 and I will just do minus 1 into page size is 10, so this is going to be 80. So I'm going to skip first 80 records, so my page 9 is going to show 81 to 90. Simple. And how do we use this formula in our code? It is easy. How to use this formula in the code? Just declare your parameters, initialize your formula, and just do the query. Now in this query, these variables are going to be dynamic. So whatever your page size is, whatever your offset value is, the query is going to dynamically work on that. So here you are not mentioning 10, 10 like this, right? So this is how you can smartly query your data systematically in the batches. Now here the use cases can be anything. Now the question is just about displaying them on the UI, but the use case can be anything. So please take a note of this concept to remember how to retrieve the data systematically and insert in sequence. Drawback here is you have some limitations with respect to offset. The maximum offset allowed is 2000. You cannot go beyond that. So when you use large offset values, the performance degrades significantly. So due to slow performance, you are not recommended to use it with the large offset values, but for small things you can use them. Now what is the solution for this? So if it is about LWC, there is a concept called infinite scroll. Okay, so it is not going to load the data all at once, but once you scroll down, it is going to load more and more data. Okay, so this is nothing but enable infinite loading. So this is your lightning data table tag. Okay, so in that tag you have to mention this enable infinite loading, and that is going to enable infinite scroll for you. Okay, so on load more you can customize what to load, how much to load, everything. So this is like a controller for this one event on load more. Okay, so this is the latest, this is the commonly used thing. So if interviewers ask you, you can answer this first, infinite scroll, and then you can talk about those limit, offset, combination and permutation. Okay, so what are other options for pagination? There is something called key set pagination. Then for VF pages we used to have standard set controller. So some of these are deprecated and old things. Okay, but it is good to know what we used to have and what we currently have. Then the next concept is, now this question is different. Two users are simultaneously clicking on submit on an approval process for the same opportunity record. Your Apex code reads, modifies and save the record. How do you prevent a race condition? Now two users trying to access same record. The use case over here is, how do you lock one record so that other users are not editing it or not reading it until the transaction is completed? Okay, so basically how do you lock your record? Okay, and don't get confused, we are not talking about the field. Okay, we are talking about the record. How do you lock the record? Temporarily. Okay, so the answer is use for update in your SOQL queries. Okay, so this is your normal query. Okay, so after your normal query you have to append this clause for update. so that while you are working on this opportunity record, that record will be locked temporarily, and if others are using it, it won't be accessible to them. So the second user's query is going to be blocked until the first transaction is completed or rolled back. Okay, and one more thing to note over here, for update cannot be used with all rows, order by, group by. Obviously, because all rows will give you the deleted ones and you cannot lock the deleted ones, right? And always keep the lock transaction short to avoid deadlocks, obviously. Okay, so it is good to know that there is one kind of clause which is commonly used in the code and in the system to lock the records temporarily. So keep this in mind for update. So in this video we got to know about three major SOQL keywords. Those are commonly used. First was all rows, second was offset, and third is for update. Okay, aren't they powerful? Let me know in the comments. That's all for this video. If you have liked this video, please click on the like button, subscribe to my channel, and if you want to get in touch with me for training or mock interview related queries, I have provided a link in the description and comment section. Please check that. Thank you.